What was that? Boy, pull the hustle and flow. Kill the fans. Kill the fans. Pull the hustle and flow. Kill the fans. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Let me share. Right there. Gotta love Tyrone Haynes. Brother's like the Denzel of this thing, man. You know, Denzel was the first person at Obama's inauguration, sitting out there.
Sure.
Tyrone Haynes be sitting with his popcorn, like waiting for everybody else to come in. He got the best seat in the house. Told Mr. Haynes he was gonna have to pull up. You got to come sit and have a scotch and a cigar with us one day. That's all right. It's all good. I know where your heart at, brother.
Here we go.
Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop?
Yes,
This is the barbershop. Well, I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? We can't talk straight nowhere else. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. Now, is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop?
Yes,
That ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop. Healthy conversation. Healthy conversation. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. That ain't nobody exempt.
Ain't nobody exempt.
That ain't nobody exempt. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. Healthy conversation.
Yo. What's up?
Y'all know what time it is.
You already know.
This is Barbershop
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Everybody, y'all doing good out there?
Yeah. I'm the barber.
I'm the artist.
And this is Barbershop Talk with Jeff and Frey.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all are up and at it right quick with us, y'all on this post right quick, on this podcast right quick, go ahead and share this with your friends. It's going to be a nice, interesting conversation. Invite your people.
Tell them to watch it, you know.
Yeah, tell them to join in. Tell
Come
them how
on in
much
the
you
room.
like it, you know, and let's have some good conversation. What I'm doing right now is I'm sharing it on the various pages, group pages that we're on. And I
Exactly.
hope that you guys are ready for a good conversation.
Yeah, we're going to give y'all a good one today.
So today we're going to talk about faith, consistency, and hard work
Equals success.
Equals success.
Yeah,
And
man.
I'm gonna give you the floor first.
All right. Look at you.
You know,
Put me on the
know,
spot. Let's get
You know, I
this.
put the young, the youth Youth before age.
Oh, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
It means you ain't got it right now.
I
You're over
got
there
it.
brainstorming.
I got it.
No, okay. So we're going to talk about faith. We're going to talk about consistency. And we're going to talk about hard work, and we're going to talk about success. Before we really get into that, though, I kind of had this little thing I want to get off my chest real quick. And it's about social media, what you post, and how you conduct yourself with it. Now, to each his own. You can do whatever you want to. It's your page, as they always say. But my thing is, if you're putting out information and it's false information, there's a little bitty button down at the bottom that says comment. And I know what y'all gonna say. Well, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, don't comment. But it's mighty funny, as long as somebody's stroking your ego, they're going along with whatever it is you're saying, that's fine. But the moment somebody calls you out on it or doesn't quite agree, then either they hating or you could have kept that comment to yourself. Now, have that same energy when we're applauding your rhetoric or when we're agreeing with what you're saying. You should be able to take constructive criticism. It's not always coming from a place of hate. Sometimes it's coming from a place of that me or whoever being the individual stopping you from making a complete ass of yourself. And it's like we're just trying to help. You have some friends who sit there and applaud your stuff, who will go along with it, but then they'll turn right around and maybe talk about you to somebody, and you be the talk of the round table conversation at lunchtime about the idiotic stuff that you posted. My thing is, with all of this Black Lives Matter, and when you're coming up with the information that you're pulling up, just stop Googling stuff, man. Actually take the time out to do the research before you jump out and post this stuff, because sometimes it's not accurate information. And you can anger people who are really trying to get past all this. Case in point, young guy today posted a picture of Big Boy from Outkast.
Right.
Now, this photo of Big Boy had him with the blonde lace front sew-in. It was probably all the way down his backside.
Right.
And he was like, oh, this is what the industry is doing to our men. First of all, you just took this picture because it's been recycled like trash for weeks, a Big Boy in his long hair. And what his point was, he was trying to say how the music industry is feminizing men, not doing his research and knowing that Big Boy is actually portraying George Clinton on the BET show American Soul, based off of Soul Train.
Right.
So what you were trying to do, and one of these people that are quick to holler Black Lives Matter, so you got to be careful when you're saying that stuff too, because you'll holler that stuff and you'll turn it right around and be the one posting about who didn't sound like this at the BET Awards, what somebody didn't have on at the BET Awards, this, that, and the third. It's like, where did Black Lives Matter? Like, regardless of what they look like or sounded like at this point, you're supposed to be lifting them up.
Yeah, supposed to be lifting
but
them up.
you on social media talking down on them. So what he was trying to do was really trying to put Big Boy on blast, but he really made himself look like an ass, because at the end of the day, he ain't going left. He ain't on the other side of the track. It was for a roll. So, a couple of people tried to correct him. He got mad, and I'm going to say, no, y'all always agreeing with the wrong stuff, but it's like you're posting false information. So at the end of the day, know what you're saying, because we have a right to applaud your efforts. We have a right to disagree. That's what the comment is for. Now, if you ain't built with tough skin and you can't handle it, stop posting stuff. Everybody's not going to agree with the things I post. Everybody's not going to agree with everybody's posting. But as long as there's a little button that says comment, and if it's not out of the way, and and they don't agree, let them make it. Somebody may be trying to help you. They're not trying to hate on you. They're not trying to belittle what you think. But it's just like, fall back, because some of your friends are not agreeing with you as much as they really are laughing at you when you post misinformation or just some dumb negative stuff. Stop pulling these articles out your ass if you don't have 100% pure real facts on it.
You know what I noticed, one of the things that I've said, and I say this very, very often, and God forgive me, I'm not questioning what or how you're doing it. What I have a problem with is, God gave too many people. He gave us freedom of choice. We all got these opinions on how things go and what we think, and nobody is paying attention to the narrative.
Right.
You're not paying attention to the story. So, you know, I wish God had never gave us freedom of choice, man. I'm serious, man. I guess I wish he would have just made, you know what, Adam, you messed up. From now on, listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That makes okay.
Yeah. You know, because I mean, if we pay attention and we learn from, you know, from what's real, instead of creating our own opinions and creating. You see a picture, and this is a problem too with our people. And I'm not trying to call black people out. I'm just so sick of it. We don't read. So I know he saw the picture, and the first thing he did was just took the picture
and ran with it
and not read the article.
Right.
So I mean, and that's what we do. We see a picture, cause we see a picture, and the first time we see a picture, you see a picture of something negative. You see a picture of a black man hanging or a guy hanging from a tree, and you don't read what's under it.
Right.
You think that you know there's something negative.
Yeah. Well, of course, a first sight I'll see.
I ain't
gonna lie, dog. Like, I see somebody hanging from a tree, I'm immediately thinking.
Immediately you.
But I'm gonna see how, like, yo, what happened? What transpired here?
Or what is this article about?
Yeah.
What is this? See what this reading is about, because the hanging from the tree. It might be just to get your attention.
Right.
Like you need to pay attention to this, but then because we don't like to read, we don't read what's going on. So then we get
create a false narrative of it. Oh man, they done hung somebody else. And if you didn't read the story, it was like this dude was depressed and did it himself. Like
exactly.
But then now, but what that also does is it confuses. I said this before in the post, man. It confuses people because now we're in a society that's trying to heal from all of the police brutality, from all of everything that's going on. We're trying to find a place to get back to. We're trying to find a common place as a race of people to where we're all working together, trying to come up with ideas together. But if everybody's not at peace, you still got people angry. You can't operate under anger. So if you post something like that, you just snowballing those emotions. They coming back and repetitive. And now the peace that I had to where I was kind of okay.
Right.
You done sent the volcano back to erupting again because I'm mad again.
Right.
Now I don't want to hear nothing you say about peace or how to organize because I'm mad at what I just saw.
Right.
So it's like sometimes we got to be mindful of that stuff, brother.
We don't pay attention to the things that we say. And not
words
just
of power,
but words of power. And if we take that statement, words of power, if we take that statement to heart, then we'll stop saying some of the shit that we say. And start uplifting each other. Again, we had that conversation about what goes on in the black community.
Right.
And people make the statement that, you know, people kill who's closer to them. And I think that's crap, because the people that God say love your neighbors. Again, if we listen to God, start listening to ourselves, we won't have that problem. God says love your neighbors. He don't say nothing about killing. In fact, what he does say about killing is one of the 10, thou shalt not kill. So if thou shalt not kill, why do we kill the people closest to us instead of loving them? So, you know, again, man, if we listen, get you a relationship with God, man, and that goes into what we're talking about. You get your relationship with God first.
So that's where the faith comes in.
That's where the faith comes in. And then you won't make as many mistakes as you normally would if you. Now, don't get me wrong. My relationship with God, I have sometimes taken the ball from God and say, hey, look, man, I got this.
Yeah, man. I done made shipwreck of myself many a times. And trying to do it the Frey way.
Exactly. Trying to do it Jeff's way, man. And I've bumped my head many a day. You know, so but once I understood that I'm better off listening to what God says, and once I developed a relationship with God that allowed me to be in the position that I'm in now, you can't, because he's gonna tell you,
right?
And everybody will say, you know, this the little guy on the show on my shoulder, or the alter ego.
Yeah, keep it 100. It's God.
It's God. You
All
ain't
day
talking
long.
to yourself.
Not at all.
You ain't talking to yourself. You ain't telling yourself good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You ain't telling yourself. You will tell yourself what your ideas and what your thoughts are, but the manifestation of those thoughts and the on trackness of those thoughts comes from God.
So
Being in tune, because God is what's true. God is what's right. So being in tune with the right thing helps you make the right moves.
right. So we starting the thing off with the faith part. And anything that you want to do, anything that you put your heart to do, you have to have faith in God first. I mean, you can, because sometimes you put faith in yourself. If you're up and down with yourself, then you off the wrong track. But you have to get in those quiet places when you having that one-on-one conversation with God, and you're asking him, and you're not leaning on your own understanding, but you're asking him, like, which way, Lord, do I go with this thing?
Right.
And because a lot of times he will show you if you're sincere about it. Now, you jump out there, that's that whole walking on water thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you have to walk away from a situation, and that's that stepping out on faith.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we're here talking about faith, consistency.
And hard work.
Hard work equals success. And there's a reason why we're talking about this today, because now the old head got the floor. I'm finna fall back because we're here for a reason. July 3rd, we're celebrating something. So I'm gonna fall back, close my mouth, and let the OG tell you why.
So July 3rd, if y'all interested, and I know a lot of people with the COVID doesn't want to come out,
Wear a mask.
but come out, wear a mask, and be a part of 7 years Astute Gentleman. Astute Gentleman has been was started in 2013, and it's a long story, and there's a lot of faith conversation in that story. So I'm gonna kind of touch on that a little bit. I'm not gonna make it long. I'm gonna touch on it because, again, if you listen to God, He's gonna tell you what it is you should be doing and how it is you should be doing. So I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna go. I don't want to go too far. I guess I got to go back down to 2013.
Give it to him. We got a minute.
So back in 2012, I was going through a divorce, going through a little something with my ex-wife, and fast forward to right up at the time when we were getting divorced, she made a statement saying that she didn't want to be with me because my life was going in a circle. And I knew immediately what that meant. And my response was, my life is going in a circle because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm just not doing it right. So back a few years before that, I called myself retiring from the barber industry, and I was riding down the street one day. I was on my way to Wichita Falls, and God said to me, just like we talking, and I remember it like it was like 2 minutes ago. He said to me, "You know you're not done." And I was like, "Okay, all right, so what do you want me to do?" So I know, for me, I was ready to be done cutting hair. My son had graduated from school. I was done raising kids. I was like, okay. So he said, "Go back to school." God said, "Go back to school." So I was like, man, if I go back to school, I got to come out of my pocket, because I hadn't paid any loans back from when I went to college. I hadn't even attempted to pay loans back when I went to college. So on my way back from Wichita Falls that Monday, God it was on my mind what God had said. I get a phone call from somebody that was helping people out with Obamacare, well, not the Obamacare, but with the new law that Obama had created for people to go back to school. So the guy simply said to me, if you give us $200 today and pay $100 a month for the next 4 months, you'll be able to go to, for the next 6 months, you'll be able to go to school in 4 months. And I was like, what? So now, remembering what God had said to me a couple of days prior, I was like, shoot, I had to take that chance.
Yeah, pass up on that deal.
Yeah, I couldn't pass on. So I pulled over on the highway. I was on the highway. I pulled over, I gave the guy my credit card number. And as soon as I got back to Arlington, I went to Paul Mitchell and enrolled in school. And fast forward, I enrolled in school. I graduated from school from Paul Mitchell. Now I have my barber and cosmetology license. And I get divorced and I start Astute Gentleman. And so many stories. When you listen to God, things happen. I didn't want to work in my own shop. I had no desire to work in my own shop. And I went to go work at the gents place, and the guy didn't hire me because of my background. I was like, well, I got to do what I got to do. So God set me down, and I pulled out an old business plan that I wrote. Now, this Astute Gentleman, I wrote this business plan back in 2006. And being able to go and grab that, because it was called the Gentleman's Spa, is what it was called. So to go and grab that and recreate it and sit down and come up with a name that was God-given. In the middle of the night, I woke up, I was like, Astute Gentleman, Barber and Cigar Lounge. And I went back to sleep.
Wow.
And I got up the next morning, and I had grabbed these words. I was grabbing these words, but gentleman was what was going to stay. And I grabbed all of these words and I wrote all of these words down, and I had to place them and put them in the right place and make everything be what it is now. And I woke up 2:57, 2:58. And I said, Astute Gentleman, Barber and Cigar Lounge. And that was it. I went right downtown when I got up the next morning. I went right downtown, did all my paperwork, called IRS, got my LLC, got everything going, and Astute Gentleman was born. One of the things that I like the most about what I do is that it makes other people happy. You know, and when you cut hair and you make people feel good, it's one of those things, man, where it's like it's like when you do art. When you do art,
yeah,
and people reach out to you about that. Hey, man, I love that, blah, 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 blah. I get that 30 to 50 times a day, you know, depending on the day. Oh, man, hey, man, you did. I love it.
Right.
I love it. So me walking away from that was like,
taking your happiness away,
yeah,
almost.
taking my happiness away. And so I started Astute Gentleman, man, and I went, shout out to Salon 972. He helped me build my clientele in the Dallas area. My man Mark took me in, and I told him, I said, man, I'm only going to be here about 6 months. I only want to do this about 6 months. I'm just in the DFW area, in the Dallas area, because I was in Arlington, and I didn't think any of my clients from Arlington were going to come to Dallas. And I was wrong. And so when I went into the salon suite and no money. My divorce had got finalized. I went into the salon suite, man, and I walked away. Man shit. She didn't want to do it no more. So I left her with everything, and I walked away with the clothes on my back and my clippers and my computer. And I went to the Motel 6 right up the street on Beltline. I didn't have a car. I gave her the car. If she had a car, I gave her an extra car. You can have it. I don't want nothing. So staying in the Motel 6, I got the salon suite right up the street. I was walking back and forth to work. And one day, man, I walked into this building that I'm in right now. I was looking for my man David. He introduced me to a cigar roller at his wedding. And I'm going to show you how God works. I go to my man's wedding, and I meet the cigar roller. And I was like, hey, I want to do cigar and barbershop, and so on and so forth. And I walk into, I meet him. He gives me his card. About a month later, I'm going to look for a client, look for the cigar roller to roll the cigars at another at another client's wedding. And I walk into this building. And when I walked into this building, just as I walked into this building, he had just signed the paper. The guy that I was coming to talk to had just signed the papers over to another guy. So he had sold the business. The guy that he sold the business to, I told him why I was here, and I told him who I was, and I said, look, the guy asked me, he said, well, how would you like to cut hair here a couple days a week? I said, well, how would you like for me to be here 7 days a week? And I shook his hand, and God said to me as I was shaking his hand, do business with him. He's going to walk away and leave you with everything.
Wow.
And so I said, okay, well, let's have a meeting. Let's have a meeting and, sit down and talk about it, how we want to do things. He said, okay, cool. We met Sunday. I bring my nephew with me. And my nephew said, I don't like this guy. And after the meeting, we walked out and we were standing out in the front. And he said, I said, look, nephew, God told me to do business with this guy. And he was going to walk away and leave me with everything. And right then, God told me, and you're going to have that next door. You're going to have that space next door. Now, those that know me know that I had that space next door.
Turned up.
I had that space there for a year.
Turned up over there.
So it was just, I had to go through whatever the phases was.
Right.
I had to go, but I had that space next door for a year. I had a whole nother 2,000 square foot jazz lounge. But now I'm in this cigar lounge, in this facility that I'm in right now, and I've been here for 5 years, and every year goes by, I appreciate God, my listening to God. And if you understand, if you have a relationship with God, if you don't have a relationship with God and you hear somebody telling you what to do, it's God. He's trying to let you know that he's real.
Yeah, trust me, man.
Yeah, he's trying to let you know he's real.
I know a lot of people. I don't know if they're atheists. I don't know what, but they try to throw smut on God's name. And,
Oh yeah.
And I don't really rock with them type of people, man. Because at the end of the day, if you really pay attention to them, you look at how their life is. They always going in circles. Something in their life just keep transpiring over again wrong. First of all, there's never no good thing that comes out of those type of people who try to down talk God.
Right.
Follow your whatever works for you. If you want to continue to be going around in circles with the same dude over and over, or you keep wondering why your circumstances keep going over, hey, deal with it. Evidently, you love it. But as for me, I know where my help and my strength comes from.
Oh yeah.
And you think about those times in your life when you make shipwreck of it, it's God that's telling you, listen.
Yeah.
Listen. One thing about COVID and the whole stay in place thing, shelter in place thing, was that it gave you an opportunity for people like me who are fast paced.
Right.
I'm always moving. It gave me a chance to sit down for a second. Mm-hmm. And the moment that I sat down and was quiet, God revealed so much to me. And it's funny how you could sit here and I could honestly listen to you when you said, have you ever talked to somebody and told them this story and you kind of seen that their body language kind of cringe when you said you talked to God just like you talking and you heard God just like me speaking to you?
We talking right now. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. We talking about faith because we still got to get on to the others.
Yeah.
But with faith, after my grandmother passed, I knew I wasn't going on this drinking binge and this drug binge. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But because my grandmother raised me, she was my natural mother. I knew I was going to have to deal with it some kind of way.
Right.
Now, brother, I've been drawing since the age of 4. This painting thing is only 3 years old.
Right.
But I went to get a donut pan. And going to get this donut pan, I went to Michael's. And I was walking around still trying to process, my grandmother's death. It was fresh.
Right.
And God, as clear as day, I heard his voice. Go get you some canvas. And because my faith is so strong, I didn't look around. I went.
Yeah.
I went straight over there.
No question.
I didn't know. I just grabbed the first canvas I saw, which was a 16 by 20. I put it in my little basket. Said, go get you some brushes and go get every primary color in acrylic paint.
Right.
I didn't question it. I went. Then I went to this little mom and pop thrift store, man, and I found the easel, which is the easel I paint on now. It was $2. It was raggedy as hell. And I took it. I sat in front of that canvas for about an hour just looking at it. Didn't know what I was doing, but the instructions were to get that. After I got it, it hit me. I don't know where it came from. Everybody knows I love music. I'm an avid hip-hop head.
Right. Right.
I ended up painting, and it wasn't even in black and white. And see, a lot of people wonder why my artwork is black and white. Is because black and white are my happy colors.
Right.
Colors, rainbow colors are too chaotic for me.
Right.
And in the world we live in, black and white is smooth, it's calm, it ain't much going on. But I didn't paint black and white the first time. I painted a naked woman with an afro giving birth to a radio.
Right.
And I don't know where that came from. I just named it Birth of Hip Hop. And I was sitting there on a piece of paper trying to figure out my little signature, how I was going to do it. But at that point, I knew that it was something that I had to do.
Yeah,
I had to do it. And it wasn't that I questioned it. Even after that one painting, I was like, it wasn't a one and done.
Right.
I said, well, now it's turn up time. Let me go back and get some black and white and start doing what I know how to do.
Right.
And to be honest, it has become lucrative. Some blessings have come from it. It has reached some people. But the one thing that you said a minute ago about how happy it made you feel to see other, brother, do you know the joy I get makes me want to cry sometimes when I hand a person a piece of my artwork? You know why? Because truth be told, I don't even think it's that good. I don't think anything I've ever painted, and that's me humbly being honest.
Right.
I never look at when I have a couple of pieces that have reached a couple of celebrities.
Right.
I've never seen it. It always comes to me.
Right.
I don't look for it. My artwork never has that person's name tagged in it. It's just something I wanted to do. But people come back, yo, did you see this on the Breakfast Club? Yo, did you see so-and-so had it?
Right.
And my attitude be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I even tell people,
That's
don't.
humble.
Yeah, I tell people, don't tag my name in it if you see it. I don't want it like that, but I know that God is moving in a direction for me.
Right, right.
So that's where my faith is. And in anything that you do, that you put your mind to, that you know you're trying to excel at, first you got to have some solid foundation, which is your faith.
Yep.
You got to be able to talk to God and ask for directions on how to do it. Because if you step out there doing it, with us being human, we deal with emotion.
Right.
You're going to crash and burn. This is a Richie Valens La Bamba situation. Your plane is out of there, dog.
Yeah, it's and they may see these things may seem so small. These actions, the steps we take. Faith, the statement that faith without works is dead. Faith is an action, and work is action. So if you don't take a step towards whatever it is that when God tells you something, if you don't take a step towards whatever it is he told you to do, he not going to amplify it.
No.
But if you take that step, I made a post years ago that God amplifies the steps that you take. So if you take one step, he gonna give you 10. He might just give you 2, but the 10 is coming.
The 10 is coming.
But you can't sit back. You can't sit back and be the guy in the middle of the river say, I'm waiting on God to send somebody for me.
Man, you
and
gotta
3
put
people
some
came
work.
by to pick you up, and you said, no, I'm waiting on God. Yeah, okay.
A lot of people have faith,
Yeah,
but the work part they don't
wanna do
have
the
it.
work.
But you gotta put in the
you
work.
You can't have faith and not work.
Nah.
You can't have faith. I don't care how much what.
Man, you
I
gotta
don't care
give
what
him
you
something to
saying.
bless.
I got plenty of faith. I got plenty of faith, but you ain't working.
You ain't putting, man,
You ain't
I know a
giving-
lot of people that have $1 million ideas
Yeah.
will probably put about 5 cent effort in making it happen. Man, the
And
moment
that's why they have nothing.
God blesses us all that are living. When we wake up, we are allotted the same 24 hours Everybody has it. Now, what you choose to do with it is solely on you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you alive and you can put your feet on the ground and your mind is in good condition to work,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, use it.
And what another thing, people don't understand that God gives everybody gifts. God gives everybody gifts. And I need for y'all to understand this first. It's not meant for everybody to be an entrepreneur. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur.
The idea may be good.
The idea is great, but it's not meant for everybody to be an entrepreneur. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to do what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And whatever God has designed for you, He has designed for you, and you have to be able to walk in that and work in that. So,
Operating in that faith and working at it, it comes the consistency part. So anything that you do and that you know that this is what you want to do, stay with it. You have to constantly reinvent yourself on a daily basis. Like some of the things that you may look at it and say like, okay, you got a business plan, you got a vision for this. And like I said, everybody's not built to be the CEO or the entrepreneur. You may just be the guy with the idea that could kind of pitch it out to somebody else, but work with them to grow what it is that you're trying to do. But here comes the consistency. You can't jump off and have a hot day on it one day and then say, I'm gonna chill today and not think about it. Your mind, your heart, and the energy that you're putting into this vision of yours has to continuously keep rolling. I'm not a baker, I'm not a chef, I don't know anything about this stuff, but one word I always hear when people are baking something or whipping up something is consistency. I guess I don't know the terminology. Consistency is the word they use, so I guess like that, the more you stir it, the more it comes out smooth or whatever. But if you don't, then lumps will get in there. But that's the thing. It's like if you're not consistently pushing yourself, if you're not consistently believing in yourself, if you're not consistently praying and talking to God about how you can make this vision or this dream come to life, you're just going to be stuck. It's just going to be those lumps and those clumps because you're just stuck right there. Stay with it. Keep moving. Tell yourself in your mind and your heart, I'm after this. I'm chasing something. You know, I see the grass past the forest. I have faith and I'm now doing the work. Stay with it. Constantly keep your wheels going. Constantly keep giving your words of affirmation. Tell yourself, I got this. I can do it. This ain't nothing to a stepper. This is a small task to a giant. You have to keep telling yourself, believe in yourself. God already believes in you once he sees that you're operating in your faith and that you're actually working, but you have to believe in it and want it for yourself. So that's the consistency part. A lot of us, sometimes we have these visions and we get sidetracked by other people. We get sidetracked by other things in life. It's like you have to find a balance. You can't let anything consume you when you're trying to push forward. So the consistency. I was talking to our fam about consistency.
Right.
And it's like I was telling them, I don't know the terminology when you're cooking, but like if
stirring
it's lumpy,
yeah.
that means
Yeah.
it lost its consistency, right?
Right.
It's like if you don't keep it going, if you don't keep it moving, then you'll get in those stuck lumpy places.
Oh yeah, definitely. And those lumpy places are obstacles. Take those lumpy places as obstacles.
Yeah.
Because now, when you're cooking the pot of grits or the cream of wheat, and it's got those lumpy, you're right,
man. That's
you're
the
trying
number one
right
analogy right there.
You're trying to get those lumps out of there, and you can, so in trying to get those lumps out of there. In your mind, like, man, why I'm gonna get these lumps out of here?
Spoon, I gotta chop it up a little bit.
And you're trying to figure it out, and if you pay attention and you listen to God telling you how to get the lumps out, He just gonna say, add water. Simple. Everything.
It's a simple instruction.
It's a simple instruction. Add water. And people don't understand. I mean, in everything I do, I listen to God. Now, I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect. I am not. I'm not perfect, but I'm a very avid listener of God, and
Where do you think that stems from? Just personal, like when you say you're an avid listener of God, because some people don't. So I just kind of want to know why you're an avid listener.
I'm a PK. I'm a PK.
Okay.
I'm a proud PK. I love my pops. I love my pops.
Y'all was the dirtiest ones, man.
Woo, hey, look,
PKs are the freakiest ones. You was behind the church, trying to lay hands on somebody the wrong way.
I'm all of that. I'm all of that. Call it what you want to call it. I'm not gonna deny it. But I've been all of those things.
All right.
And the one thing that they say, you raise up a child in the ways to go. When he get old, he won't depart from it. And I got older, and I came back to that thing that I left behind, and I started to see in myself those things that were not of the truth and what not of God. So, and it took me a while. I'm 50. I'll be 51 in August. It took me a while, but
bruh, I think just agreeing with what you're saying. The reason why I asked you that is because even for my personal life, it comes a time, bro, when you just get tired.
Yeah.
I mean, you pain don't feel good.
No.
And I mean, how many times did you get a good lashing before you figured out, look, I'm not finna do this no more, man. This belt, this switch, whatever, all right, I got my money. Yeah. Look, I surrender.
The eye opener to me was losing $1 million contract. That was the eye opener to me.
That would open my eyes pretty wide.
Yeah, that losing $1 million contract was an eye opener to me. And here I am sitting in the penitentiary when I used to be on the gridiron catching balls.
Damn it, man.
Yeah, and that was the eye opener to me. And that was a whooping. That was a whooping. Not, and I appreciate, I tell my pops all the time, I called my pops just the other day and I said, hey, look, thank you for all the whoopings you gave me. Because I understand why whoopings. The whoopings are to make you learn from your mistakes. And people will say, well, you shouldn't have to get whooped to learn from your mistakes. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. And if you get whoopings and you feel like you don't want to get no whooping, take the whooping. Take the what Timex, take a licking, keep on ticking. Nah. Keep going, because understand the discipline that you need is to make you understand that what you did was wrong.
Right.
That's not the right direction that you're supposed to be going down.
Now we're not talking about a couple of and then get on in there and sit down. We're talking about one of those good head between the leg all the way down, just getting wore out.
And tie you down.
Yeah, man. Buddy.
Listen, I tell people that, and people. I love to tell this story because it was probably one of the worst whoopings I got from my pops. But I was coming from choir rehearsal, and I was in the church. I was coming from choir rehearsal, and I played the drums in church, and we stopped at Albertsons, and I'm in there stealing honey buns and stuff. So I was hungry. So everybody else had money. I had no money, so I'm stealing. So I'm walking around Albertsons eating a honey bun, and I had one in my pocket. So I as I'm trying to leave, the guy come and catch me and say, hey, come upstairs. So they take me upstairs. Now the minister that's driving the van for the choir is looking for me. He finds me. I'm up there stealing honey buns, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you that. So he whoops me right there in Albertsons, puts me on the van. Now, it's raining. It's a thunderstorm. I'm like, I ain't getting no whooping when I get home. It's raining. You know what I'm saying? So I get to the house. The minister tells Minister Mitchell, I'll never forget it. Minister Mitchell, he tells my dad what happened.
Mr. Mitchell, you was Tekashi 6ix9ine, you straight rat,
right? but he told my pops what happened, man, and my pops sent me to my room. Now, again, it's thunder and lightning, the power in the house going out, everything. My pops come in the room and get me. He said, "Come on out here," and I come in the kitchen, and he got candles lit. Now,
He was finna sacrifice you.
Right. So I couldn't go outside and get no switch. So he pulled the washing machine out and he took the water hose out the washing machine.
Yo.
Told me up. I got a scar on my leg right now from it. Told me up. And look, I was trying to get away, and I remember the one part I was trying to get away. That joker grabbed me by my leg and held me upside down like a chicken. Told me
Gave you the business.
Gave me the business. Best whooping ever. Worst whooping, but the best whoop ever.
That's where you learn
That's
from.
where you learn from.
Man, I'm telling you.
And he said, son, you're going to get these whoopings in all your life if you don't straighten out. And he didn't mean them physically, but he meant them spiritually, mentally. You know, life gives you those whoopings. Life will hang you upside down until you get it.
Man, life. When you say life, you think about the life that you have and the life you live and the things that you're accomplishing and the faith that you have, the consistency to keep pushing to be better at what you're doing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you think about those whoopings.
Right.
For me, life, I could have lost it.
Right.
When I fell asleep behind the wheel going 40 around a curve and hit a tree dead on.
Yeah.
I hit the tree head first, 40 miles per hour. Balled that thing up in the front. Everything in the trunk was in the back. And I got out cussing and ranting and raving. My cowboy stuff that fell off. What in the world is going on?
Right.
And so I stand up against a tree. I done caused all kind of people to come outside the apartment.
Right.
Dude, I was 2 minutes from the house. And,
right.
and when the ambulance came.
2 minutes from your safe haven.
When the ambulance came, the paramedic was asking the police and everybody, where's the body?
Right.
Where's the body? What did y'all? And so they were like, it's the guy standing up against the tree talking to everybody. So he comes over there. He's like, I don't know who you pray to or who you believe in.
Yeah.
He said, but I've never come to a wreck of this magnitude, and it wasn't a DOA.
Right.
Him saying those words to me, man, I ain't gonna lie. It was like a cartoon, you know, when they die and then the little angel with the heart.
Yeah.
Man, Frey was out of there. I was gone. But then,
Right.
but I was like, I ended up shaking. I was nervous because at that point, and I walked away, no scratches. I had the burn on this arm from the airbag. When it deployed, I tried to stop it.
Right.
But I had no scars. I wasn't aching in my body, none of that.
Right. Wow.
And the thing about it, when you say life, when you say the best whooping of your life, that was the best whooping of my life because I was at a point in my life where like, what is my purpose?
Right. Right.
And that's when God told me your purpose is to live.
Right. Yeah.
Now, once you live, because you still ain't listening to me,
Right.
I'm going to show you what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
And I haven't stopped yet.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes I have those moments where I'm like, is this actually it? But I don't question God. I ask because I want to know for sure.
This is how you're going to know. This is how you're going to know that it's it. Peace.
Oh,
Peace.
okay.
Peace. See, I don't cut hair for money. I make money cutting hair. You understand what I'm saying? So
I paint
you paint
not for money.
Yeah.
But
you make money.
I make money painting.
Yeah, you do what you
Wow.
love. I tell people all the time.
He's the barber.
He's the
I'm
artist.
So hey,
You gotta, and people those that don't know me, I've been doing this for 37 years.
that's a lot of
37 years behind the chair. 37 years, and for someone to tell me that my life is going in a circle, that meant something to me. So if your life is going in a circle, understand if your life is going in a circle and you're constantly doing the same thing over and over again, it's productive, the productive thing. I'm not talking about the ignorant thing. If your life is going in a circle and that productive thing is still working for you, it's just not escalating, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're just not doing it the way that it needs to be done. So ask God how, not what, but how, because you're already doing the what. You just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I can go out on a limb right now, and because I'm doing it how it's supposed to be done, I have influenced the DFW barber industry to be different. When I moved here in 08, I had a website. In 08, 07, 06, I had a website on Vistaprint. 06, I had a website in 08 when I went to the barbershop that I went to in Arlington called Changing Faces. My man John was the owner, and he said, can you show me some of your work? I said, oh yeah. I pull out my laptop and pull up. He said, you got a website?
Right.
That was in 08. You got a website? Oh, yeah. So for my business ethics, and again, God showing me how and what to do made me influence. Barbers charge $35 now because of me. Because of me.
Don't tell everybody that, Jeff.
I'm serious. Because I've been
Jeff did it. He is the reason why y'all have a $35 bill added to all y'all other bills now.
Listen. Because
haircut is a bill now, y'all.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, hey, haircut been a bill. Haircut ain't no bill now, but haircut been a bill. You come sit down in the chair. It's just look. I'm just like your lawyer, your dentist, your doctor.
Right.
I'm just like them people, and because and it's not because I do good work. It's because I work easier, and I work by appointment only. I have a facility, and when I talk about gifts, God gave me the gift. If anybody that's been to Astute Gentleman, I did all of the work with my own hands.
Built this place.
I built this place. I tore down what they call a curse. The guy that was here that I did business with, everybody said that they called him his name. I won't call his name, but they used his name and put curse behind it. And I tore all of that down and rebuilt this in 5 years. And what you see now is all my work with my own hands, my blood, sweat, and tears. I stand behind the chair and cut hair all day and build at night.
Success. So faith, consistency, and hard work equals success. Now, I can honestly say, see, when you're around, your circle is people that are successful. You got to get you a circle of people that'll hold you accountable to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like most of these celebrities, they have yes men. They don't have no men. That's why you see someone wild out like they do, because every little person is on their payroll.
Yeah.
They eat off of these people. So when they wilding out, they're not gonna tell them no, don't do that. Hey, that's bad for your image, because it may piss them off and they fire you. So now you was a little baggage dude, and he was paying you way more because he probably was a little homie or something.
Right.
So man, I was making $5,000 a month just carrying his bags to the airport.
Yeah.
Now you out here. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take it? No, I'm just playing. No, but straight up, get you a circle of people that are gonna hold you accountable when you out of there, when you out of pocket, when your mental state ain't right. Somebody that can reel you in and say, "Hey, you all right? You good? What you thinking? What's on your mind?" That can connect you with the people that'll get you back on track. Don't get them hangers on and all of them people out of there because they don't mean you any good. And like I'm saying that to say, when I met this man, just like he told y'all earlier, we used to party like it was 1999
next door
on the next door.
Sir. Yes, sir.
When all of that mess transpired and he had to shut it down, what you're looking at, y'all probably can't see it, is a straight wall. This wasn't a wall, like it was an entrance to go to the other side. But this man has completely, if you walk into the Astute Gentleman Barber Cigar Lounge, you would never ever tell that there was anything on the other side of that building. Yeah. If he didn't tell you that he had something over there, you would never know. That's how plush this wall looks. So I advise all of y'all, especially y'all cigar smokers, y'all whiskey drinkers, the people that just like to sit, lounge, and just talk, man, run those premiums, bro, so they can get their locker and come in here.
Right.
Tell them. I don't know it.
Listen.
I don't know it. I just be in here. I'm here for the comments.
Astute Gentleman is at 14223 Inwood Road, Farmers Branch, Texas, 75244. AstuteGentleman.com. AstuteGentleman.com. catch me at astutegentleman.com. You can book your appointment. Y'all, excuse me, my camera was falling down. I was trying to catch it. But astutegentleman.com, Astute Gentleman Barber and Cigar on Instagram, Astute Gentleman on Facebook, 972-674-9662. Call me. You got any questions about cigars, any questions about how you can cut your own hair? I would prefer you not cut your own hair. But if you want to, I'm going to help you out. I've been cutting my own hair since I was 10, 9, 10, 11, somewhere around there. But the one thing I want to say, too, is about myself. I used to question God. Well, I take that back. I'm lying because I've never questioned God. I used to question myself. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I that people attach themselves to? Who am I that people listen to? Who am I that people want to be around Jeff? And three times in my life, four times in my life, 4 times in my life, people that don't know each other have told me that you're going to be a powerful man of God. And when I tell you, from the age of 9, the first time, the second time was, I think I was 28. The third time was in 08, right before, in 07, right before I moved to Texas. And the fourth time was when I got to Texas. And imagine being a new person in Texas, and I'm in this barbershop with these new guys. These guys don't know me at all. And somebody walks into the shop, a pastor, a minister walks into the shop from India, and he had his missionaries with him. And he wanted a haircut. But he saw something. I don't know what he saw.
He saw God in you.
But he saw something. He said, I want my haircut by him. But he was speaking in another language. The lady, one of the missionaries came to me and said, he wants his haircut by you, but he wants to pray for you first. He prayed for me. He stood right there in front of me and prayed for me. I got somebody in my chair, and I said, sure, go ahead. I'm never going to turn down prayer. I don't care who it is. I'm never going to turn down prayer. But they stood, these 3 missionaries, and that guy stood in front of me, and they prayed for me while my client was in the chair. I stopped cutting hair, accepted the prayers, and he turned around and walked out of the shop. Didn't even get his hair cut.
He did what he was supposed to do.
He did what he was supposed to do,
that
yeah.
seed and bounced.
and the missionaries got a message from him. He said it in another language, and she said to the other 4 barbers in the shop, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you need to pay attention to him because he's going somewhere. Huh? Like, don't tell people that. Right. That's what that.
Yeah, you don't like that putting on the spot like that.
But I mean, I was okay with it because it was a message from God. But I'm like, man, but watch this. All of those guys duplicated what I did when I left. All of those guys duplicated what I did when I left. So whatever I did in that shop with them, business cards, putting your money in the bank, accepting credit card transactions, not just accepting cash.
Not crack.
Cash. I didn't say crack. You said.
I almost said crack.
Did I? Well, whatever. But not. I mean, accepting everything that I did in the barber industry, moving to Texas, was an influence. And I only say that because Texas, when I got here, dude, I've been here for 12 years, man. Texas was 10 years behind.
Oh, yeah, we slow, bro.
And when I moved here, I was like, what in the, man, these dudes coming to the barbershop on a Saturday, man. You come to the barbershop at 12 o'clock.
You missing all that money.
I was there at 7.
You missing all that bread.
I was like, man, y'all tripping, man. At 12 o'clock, man, I got 4 more hours to do, and I'm out of here.
Pockets heavy,
yeah, too. Right. But, I just believe, I believe and I know, I tell people, people ask me, what do I think about certain things? And I say, my response is I don't do a lot of thinking anymore, and because I know a lot of stuff. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going, and I know that I listen to God, and He's not going to let me venture off and do anything foolish
At this
anymore.
point, because you have, he got you.
Yeah.
See, I'm an avid fisherman, so man, when I cast that rod out there,
Yeah.
and I got you, I don't care
Yeah,
how
see-
you fight me.
See, but you see what the one
don't
that
care.
I like the fisherman. I like the fisherman.
I don't
thing.
care how they fight.
Yeah, you don't care how they fight because you don't. If you cast a rod out, you catch the fish that you're supposed to have.
Right.
If you cast the net out, you catch a bunch of crap. Then you catch seaweed and crabs and turtles and all this
All
stuff. This
kind of
stuff that
stuff.
you're all kind of stuff. But you want the fish.
I went
so-
fishing a couple of Fridays back, man, and went out there late, and it was dark, and I went with a couple of cats. They really ain't fishermen like that. So as we getting ready to all cast out at the same time, I got the little light bobber on mine with the little beads in it that rattle.
Right.
So I cast it out. They like, what is that? Man, where'd you get that light from? I said, it's dark out there, bro. Y'all ain't got no bell or
Bell,
nothing.
nothing, yeah.
But bro, soon as I hit it, dunk, it went under.
Yeah.
And it was a red light on it.
Right.
So when it went under and it didn't come back up, I said, he on there.
Yeah.
And man, that underneath the water, that red light just danced.
Dancing all
And I'm
over
like,
the
he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I got him.
I got him.
And that's once God got that hook in you,
Yeah, he got you.
you're gone.
He got you.
I
He
even,
got
you know, that's the funny thing you say that, and I know we're about to get ready to roll. It's so amazing, man, that we are two African American men that can sit here honestly and be so transparent about our lives, but we can also, man, we are similar in so many ways, man, because I was talking to some youth one day, me and a friend of mine. We had this little nonprofit thing we was trying to get off the ground, and we were trying to help the youth, black boys, prepare themselves for manhood. We was showing them how to do resumes. These were 8 and 9 year old little boys.
Right.
And you know, and one of the kids' father came to me. I was showing him how to tie a tie, and I spoke to him for about 20 minutes. He pulled me to the side, and I know he was a bishop.
Right.
And he said, "Young man, let me talk to you." When we walked away, he said, "You have a calling on your life."
Right.
And I didn't want to hear that because my thing has always been, and you talk to people who you know.
Wait a minute. But ain't it something how people don't want to hear the truth?
Yeah, because I didn't. And let me tell
Yeah.
you, my rebuttal was, I was like, nah, I ain't ready for that. And he told me, what are you running from? And you know what I told him? I said, I ain't right. I said, I owe God more than a subpar me when he's giving me all of him. And he was like, as good as that sounded, young blood, that's a line of crap.
Right.
He said, he wants you now where you at.
Yeah, where you at?
He said, but you have a calling on your life, and I think that you need to heed to it.
Right.
And let me tell you, honestly, y'all, to this day, 2020 today, July 1st, I am still running. And I don't know what I don't know what it is that I'm afraid to give up. I can't put my hand on it. I can't lie to y'all and say, well, it's because of this. It's because I'm doing this. It's because I clearly don't know.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you after the show.
Cool.
I'll tell you after the show.
You'll tell me?
Yeah, I'll tell you after the show. I ain't gonna tell you. But listen. If you're 50 years old and you're not where you want to be in life, if you're 30 years old and you're not where you want to be in life, listen to God, because we have wasted people in general.
Yes.
If you look at the world now, Donald Trump, how old is Donald Trump? 70? Dumbass. He's a dumbass. But if we listen to God, we will not waste time. We have wasted enough time in our life not doing what it is that God wants to do, but doing what it is that everybody else doing. Everybody want to be like the Joneses. Everybody want to be like the Combses. Everybody want to be like the Carters. You're not. Here's my analogy, and I hope everybody understand this. In the hand, there's and I'm gonna just give a number. There's 100,000 working mechanisms in the than the palm in your hand, period, the back and front. It's 100,000 working mechanisms. If you are the bone, if you are the bone marrow, if you are the tendon, the muscle, whatever is inside of the hand, even the microscopic cells, if you are a cell in the hand, be that. Because if you try to be the skin, you can't do what you're supposed to do on the outside because you're trying to worry about what's going on the inside. You can't do what's on the inside because you're trying to worry about what's going on the outside because you want to be seen. Everybody is not meant to be seen. That's why I say everybody is not an entrepreneur. Everybody, if you work a job, love what you do what you love. Don't trip out because you're not the boss. Don't trip out. You're not a slave. I don't know $1 million slave in my life.
Right.
I don't, all of that. You're not a slave because you work for the white man.
Man, be the best representation of you that you can.
Stop tripping about being on the outside. Stop tripping about being seen. You are a tendon. You are a bone marrow. You are a bone. You are not meant to be seen. Everybody's not meant to be seen. Stop trying to be the head and learn how to be a tail. Because if you learn how to be a tail, you'll be the best tail in the world. You ever see a poodle, and when they get groomed up, the tail got this poof on it, and that make the dog look great. They make whatever you do look great. Make it stop trying to be something that you're not, because God designed people to be who they are in this world. And if you're not a head, stop trying to be a head. If you're not a tail, stop trying to be the tail.
Operate where you at.
Operate where you at. Operate exactly.
Look, so at the end of the day, look, log off to Facebook, log off to Instagram, and log into God so you can get that faith thing going first, man. Lock that in. Get that locked in. And then everything else will fall into place. Because I don't know anybody breathing that doesn't want to be successful unless you're just a bum and you're just lazy like that. But everybody wants to strive for higher. But first then, you got to be grounded in some faith, man. You got to be grounded in God. You got to have somebody. You got to tap into that, because Jeff don't always have the answers for me. I ain't always got the answers for him, but we know somebody that does. So, man, that's gonna be our spiel, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, man. And so y'all already know what it is.
I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate everything that everybody said. David, Corey, Stephanie. It's a couple of names I can't pronounce. I'm not gonna butcher your name. Your name start with an O. But listen, I'm here doing barbershop talk with Frey to give people conversations. These are real conversations that we have in the barbershop.
True.
2, some people need to hear some of the things that happen to other people so they understand how to deal with things. It's no different. My life, I can call my life a biblical experience. And the Bible is an experience of what people dealt with in the Bible days. And there's nothing in the Bible that you can't relate to what's going on today.
Right now.
So grab the Bible and read the Bible. I don't care what you feel about the Bible.
Don't listen. Cats is gonna come at you and say this, that, and the third. They here to distract you, bro. Like, stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to. Believe in what you're supposed to believe in. And trust me, watch how your life lines up.
Yeah.
You fall off the track and start listening to Wilson over there looking over the fence trying to tell you what's going on in your yard, you're going to be screwed out here, man.
Yeah, definitely. So we love y'all. We thank y'all for listening.
We thank y'all. We appreciate every single person.
I hope you enjoyed us. This is Barbershop Talk. I'm the barber.
I'm the artist.
And we out of here.
We out of here, y'all.